Wednesday Season 2 has already been wild, but Episode 5, titled Hyde and Wo-Seek, takes things in a whole new direction. It's the official start of Part 2, and it wastes no time picking up where the Part 1 finale left us. This episode is stuffed with supernatural family drama, tense friendships, risky plans, and of course, that Addams-style dark humor that fans love. At the same time, it clears up some of the leftover mess from the first half of the season, while teasing even bigger problems coming in the second half. If you thought the danger was over, think again. This is just the beginning of Wednesday's darkest game yet. The story kicks off during Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead, which couldn't be more perfect for a show like this. The entire setting feels haunting yet festive, colorful yet unsettling. The design team clearly had a blast with the visuals here, and it gives the episode a unique atmosphere. But beyond the holiday backdrop, this episode is also special because it brings back one of the most beloved characters of the series, Gwendoline Christie's Principal Weems. Yes, you read that right. Weems returns, though not in the way fans might expect. She's no longer alive, but thanks to some quirky Addams family connections, she appears as a spirit guide for Wednesday. And honestly, the timing couldn't be better, because Wednesday is in desperate need of guidance, whether she wants to admit it or not. At this point in the story, Wednesday's problems are stacking up fast. Fester, Slurp, and Tyler are still on the run, and now wanted by authorities. Enid is still in danger, though nobody can pinpoint the exact source of the threat. And worst of all, Wednesday's psychic abilities are still missing. On top of that, she secretly released Tyler's mother, Francoise, who also happens to be a Hyde. That secret hasn't come out yet, but it's bound to cause chaos later. So, yeah, things are messy. And with Judy busy handling the fallout from Willow Hill, Wednesday has to juggle all these threats mostly on her own. That's where Weems steps in. As a ghostly presence, she's sharp, sarcastic, and endlessly frustrated by Wednesday's stubbornness. She openly despises Dort, gives Wednesday advice she constantly ignores, and even manages a snippy exchange with Morticia, though Wednesday is the only one who can see her. Weems is especially critical of Wednesday's dangerous new plan to trap Tyler and make herself his master. It's risky, reckless, and rooted in Wednesday's refusal to face her own deeper issues. The show cleverly uses this dynamic to remind us that just because Wednesday is the main character doesn't mean she's always right. Sometimes her determination blinds her, and Weems is there to highlight exactly that. So, what is Wednesday's big plan? It's honestly a little absurd. Through Miss Capri, who has first-hand Hyde experience from a past relationship, Wednesday learns that masterless Hydes eventually wither away. She also finds out that female Hydes are much stronger and harder to control. Using Marilyn's disturbing research, Wednesday decides to ambush Tyler and try to take control of him as his new master. In her mind, she believes this will protect Enid, but of course, she doesn't fully explain herself. To Enid, it just seems like Wednesday is treating her like she can't handle herself. This hurts their friendship, and instead of waiting around, Enid turns to Thing for help. With his assistance, she begins reactivating the nightshades so she can take matters into her own hands. Through Agnes, Wednesday finds out about Enid's plan and decides to use it as cover for her own ambush of Tyler. But things don't go smoothly. Francoise, Tyler's mother, has already gone to Morticia for help, When Wednesday tries to confront Tyler, Francoise shows up in her Hyde form, takes Tyler and whisks him away. Before leaving, she makes a promise to Morticia that if reunited with her son, they would both leave Jericho for good. Whether they actually follow through remains unclear, but at least in the short term, it's a safer outcome than Wednesday's reckless idea of becoming Tyler's master. Of course, Wednesday doesn't see it that way and refuses to accept someone else's solution. While that chaos unfolds, the episode also takes time to develop another growing subplot, Slurp. In part 1, Slurp seemed like a quirky side character meant to give Pugsley something to do. But in this episode, he starts evolving into something much bigger. His constant brain consumption is making him more human, and by the end of the episode, it becomes clear he has a mysterious connection to Judy. This revelation changes everything about his role in the story. Pugsley, naturally, is still involved in Slurp's storyline. With Gomez by his side, he spends most of the episode searching for him, eventually tracking him down at the Pilgrim World Festival. The setting is the perfect stage for chaos, and Gomez even throws in some pointed remarks about cultural appropriation, which feels very on brand for him. Slurp goes on a bit of a rampage during the festival, but when Pugsley finally catches up to him, he makes a shocking discovery. Slurp looks almost completely human and can now speak fluently. Slurp asks Pugsley to help him escape, and surprisingly, Pugsley agrees. This leads Slurp directly to Judy's house, setting up what looks to be a much bigger story for the rest of part 2. What makes this episode especially intriguing is how quickly it seems to brush aside some of the biggest storylines from part 1. 1. Tyler and Francoise leaving town, at least for now, feels like the show is sweeping them under the rug. But longtime viewers know better. Wednesday never really lets go of its villains. It feels more like a temporary pause, giving space for new mysteries to step into the spotlight, like Slurp's transformation and his link to Judy. In the bigger picture, Episode 5 shows us that Part 2 isn't afraid to shake things up. Instead of dragging out the same conflicts, it's shifting focus to new dangers while leaving just enough unresolved threads to keep fans guessing. Wednesday's strained relationship with Enid, her ghostly dynamic with Weems, and the unpredictable role of Slurp all point to major twists ahead. Even if some plots feel like they're being set aside, it's hard to believe the show won't circle back to them when the timing is right. At its core, Hyde and Woseek is an episode about Wednesday trying to control everything and everyone around her, only to learn again that she can't. Whether it's Enid asserting her independence, Morticia and Francoise taking charge of Tyler, or Slurp evolving into something far more complex than she anticipated, Wednesday is constantly reminded that she's not the only one making moves. Her refusal to listen to others is setting her up for a bigger downfall. And with Weems' spirit constantly reminding her of the dangers of arrogance, it feels like a storm is brewing. And that's what makes this mid-season premiere so effective. It ties up a few threads, just enough to keep things moving, but opens the door for a wave of new mysteries and conflicts. Fans might be frustrated that certain stories feel unresolved, but that's the point. Wednesday thrives on leaving us uneasy, always waiting for the next unsettling twist. By the end of Episode 5, one thing is clear: the second half of Season 2 is going to be even darker, stranger, and more unpredictable than the first. Wednesday's world is spiraling into chaos, And whether she admits it or not, she can't face it alone. Between Weems' ghostly warnings, Enid's rebellion, Slurp's evolution, and Tyler's uncertain fate, there's no telling where the story will go next. But one thing's for sure, fans won't want to miss a second of it.